How's it going, everybody? So this is my first ever video on the channel, and I'm going to be starting it off with a pixel art sprite, and that sprite is going to be a slime. So this is going to take inspiration from the slime that is in my current game that I'm making, and if you want to know more about that game, you can click on the link in the description for my Twitter, and you'll get all that stuff. But let's just start with it. So we're gonna make it a little bit bigger, but we'll make it a 32 by 32 image, and we are going to take ourselves obviously a green type color. Obviously it depends on you what you want to do, but I usually like to pick a little bit more of a saturated color. I just feel like the super bright colors tend to not look as realistic, I guess. I don't know. It's just... But yeah, pick like a slimy type color. So this kind of color is pretty good. So a little bit more on the blue side. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we probably don't need this big of a frame size. I'm probably not going to be making it, you know, a 32 by 32 image. But yeah, let's get started on it. So start off by just making the rough outline of what you want your slime to be like. So mine's gonna look kind of just like a little blob. Well, that's okay. It's gonna be a pretty big slime actually, but that's okay. If you guys want, I can do another video of a smaller slime if you want. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But if somebody wants to see that, they can put that in the comments. Anyway, so we're just going to start off by putting a little shading in. Oops. Make sure that your edges aren't super rigid. It just makes it look a little bit better. So what I'm probably going to be doing is I'm going to be having the light source come from right around here-ish. This is like the sun. And yeah, that's our sun. But anyway, pointing down here. I may decide to get rid of a bit of this stuff, but anyway. So here we kind of have our face starting to come alive, but if you want, I usually actually like to do my eyes like this. I don't know, I just really like it like that. I think it looks nice and pretty when it's just white eyes like this. I know obviously a lot of people start off black, but it looks a little weird. I guess it's just kind of how you want it, the style that you're going for. And this kind of style actually works, so we'll keep it. So we'll go with these kind of eyes here, and maybe adding a little bit more shading. Obviously you can tell this is kind of like a diagonal view of this creature. Might need to be slimmed down just a little bit. But yeah, just make sure that your edges aren't super neat and proper, and a lot of people tend to do stuff like this where they go like that, where it all has to be equal or else it looks dumb. But honestly, when you do that all the time, it doesn't look as realistic, you know? It looks very pixelated, and I don't know, it's just not what people want sometimes. So just make sure that you are softening up those edges and stuff like that. See, I'm thinking I might turn this into a mouth. Thinking maybe. Actually, no, I don't want a mouth for my creature. So I'm gonna have to make down here is a little bit more of like the belly. So something like that. But with this lighting, you don't want to just do this where it's like a constant growth upwards. That is my mistake. Because the way that the lighting is hitting, it's a little bit more round. So you're probably going to have a bit more rounded edges. Maybe like that. And I don't know, maybe something like this. This kind of looks like a caterpillar or something. Not gonna lie. Maybe if we just shift all of this over a bit. Maybe making a bit more here. I think we need to shrink him down. So I think he's a bit too fat for a slime. And I don't want it on his eyes. I don't want the lighting to take away from, I don't know, the face thing going on here. Again, might have to round him off a bit. Yeah, I think he needs to be a bit smaller. I think I made him a bit too big when I started this drawing out. So maybe something like this might be a bit better. Well, the only problem is he still looks very a little bit big, but also just the way that his eyes were angled, he looked way too diagonal. I want him to be a little bit more facing us. Not perfectly on, because that's not the kind of style I'm going with. You can do that, there's nothing wrong with that, it's just not the style I want to go with, really. Okay. Still kind of testing with the eyes. I think he needs a bit more shading over here. And then you're going to want to just usually go with a little bit of a darker color afterwards. Or not a darker color, a lighter color, sorry. And just add in another shade, which is usually going to be pretty bright. And this is going to add a little bit more depth. There we go, maybe something like that. And then just shift it all. Whoops. Actually, that might work. Shifts it all to the side. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the kind of slime effect that you might see some slimes have. Meaning, I'm going to grab maybe a little bit of a lighter color. Maybe. Might be too close to the other color. So I'm just going to test with a bit of a darker color. I don't know if you guys can really see that. It's really close to the same color. And I'm just adding in a bit of shading to this drawing. or not really shading, but a little bit of depth with these kind of bubble things. And do it the same within here. Let's try it with a darker color. Yeah, that's better. And do the same thing all throughout this slime. Sometimes you gotta work with colors inside of colors, because I don't know, when you're working with shading and then you work with lighter and darker colors of the one image, and also to make it a little bit more realistic, you might want to add in something like this. Wait. Where the color is kind of overlapping inside the other color. Alright. Starting to like how it's looking. So now you might want to start adding in a kind of outline for your character. Just because, I don't know, I feel like you need some kind of outline. So we're going to go with it. If it looks bad, again, you can just delete it, but with pixel art, I feel like you really just need to test things out and see how it looks. I think you're still a bit too fat on this side. It's too much of a rectangle. I need to fix that. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. So, I mean, this is kind of the basic representation of slime. But what you can do is obviously for the slime, not for everything, but you can just drop this opacity down, maybe to like 150. And you can just go over colors. So, I mean, for this guy, you're going to want to do it to every color that's not a blob. Like these blob things don't do it because these are like kind of inside his body, so it's a little bit more dense. But all the parts that's like his body, you're going to want to drop it down, maybe to 150, and just take this. Sorry, go to replace, and just replace it. So this is what's going to make him quite a lot better, and I'm just gonna have to go over and fix a couple things, but maybe make this quite a bit brighter. And since it's closer to the top, I can probably just add a bit more opacity. That's a bit too bright. something kind of like that. And we're going to do the same thing with this top layer. This is going to be like practically white, and we're just going to make it like 200. Go back to the 150. Starting to come alive a bit. It's way too bright. Or dark, actually, sorry. I think it's up to you guys if you want to make the actual outline itself to a bit of a darker, or not a full opacity, so maybe even something like 220, and then you can just do something like that. Same with this. I think we got the same color used within that guy, so we're just gonna do something like that. And you know what? That's not too bad. It looks a little weird in the thing here, but I don't know. I don't think it's too bad. Maybe some finishing touches is I might just change the actual color of these to a little bit more of like a pukey color, because I feel like it's usually how it kind of is. So it's a little bit more of a actual green. We want it to blend a bit. So we'll take this and make that a lot lighter. Change these images. You know what? This isn't looking too bad. You just want things to blend. Don't make the colors too insanely harsh. Too much of a difference. Just a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm changing all this color because it's such a similar color. So I think we gotta change this back. I'm sorry, guys. And there you go. Honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. Let's see how it looks with its eyes. White. I think that's up to you guys if you want to make them white or make them larger. Although that might be a little scary. Maybe smaller. I feel like if you have really small eyes, it tends to make the blob look like a little bit of, I guess, kind of like a stupider enemy, I feel like. But then adding in these lines, it makes it look a little bit cuter, and then making them giant, that's just, I don't know, a little bit creepy. I think it might work on certain enemies, but I don't see it for this slime. So I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. But anyway, guys, this was my slime. It's kind of weird to see. I don't know how you guys are seeing it. Oh wait, I know how you guys can see it properly. Hold on. I usually like to do this, so you take a kind of image like this, and just saturate it, or unsaturate it, or whatever, and just put it on the background, so you can see it a little bit. Oh wait. Actually, I don't know how this is gonna work, because, okay, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna Control X on it, then place it in. Nope, never mind, that doesn't work. Anyway, you guys get the point. It doesn't look exactly like this in game because you see all these checkered spaces in between the enemy, but I think you guys can see it better. I see it better farther away, but yeah. I think I'll put it in the game so that you guys can see what it'll look like. Let's just put it in here. This is the game that I'm working on, but anyway, you don't need to see that. If you want to check that out, you can do so by checking out my Twitter. So yeah, we're just gonna QuickTime make an enemy, and we're just gonna go down to our slime here, and we're gonna just place him in the room just so we can see a better representation of what he would look like in the room. So I mean, obviously this isn't proper. But it's kind of what he's looking like. Kind of looking like that. But anyway, guys, there you have it. There's a slime. I guess some suggestions is just, if you don't like him with all this stuff inside, then just don't put as much. And yeah, I don't know, just fiddle around with it. Obviously, like your drawing's gonna look a lot different from mine, and whatever. But that's just kind of a representation of it. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Until then, peace.